Negotiating. Knowing how to communicate with your former spouse will make it a lot easier to reach an agreement with them. Now that you've learned some strategies on communicating, the next step is to learn how to negotiate. Though you and your former spouse are separating as a couple, you may still need to make decisions together for your children or other matters. This means you will need to negotiate to work out a number of issues. Overview. Negotiation is a discussion held by at least two people with the goal of reaching an agreement. Negotiation is an everyday activity that we all engage in, whether it's negotiating at work or debating with friends where to go for dinner. Negotiating allows you to have a lot of control over the process. Since you and your former spouse know your family situation the best, it makes sense that you have control over making decisions about the family moving forward. While you were together, you probably negotiated a number of things when you made decisions. In an intimate relationship, we often do not notice that we are negotiating, but that's what's happening. For instance, you might negotiate who's doing the dishes tonight. However, now that you are separating, you should approach negotiations with your former spouse in a more deliberate manner. We will discuss the different methods of negotiation and highlight the more effective ways to negotiate with a former spouse. With the use of step-by-step guides, tips, and worksheets, you will learn how to prepare for, begin, and behave during negotiations. Negotiation styles. There are different ways to approach negotiations. You may find you naturally prefer one style, while others tend to use a different style. Generally, there are 5 negotiation styles: competing, avoiding, accommodating, compromising, and collaborating. In the illustration, you can see these styles placed according to their levels of assertiveness and cooperativeness. Let's take a quick look at each style. Competing. This style is the most self-focused and is often associated with forcefulness, domineering, and inflexibility. This style is often seen as uncooperative and can be very damaging to a relationship. The outcome is usually win-lose. Avoiding. This is very low on assertiveness and low on cooperation. This style turns away from conflict. Though it may be beneficial to sidestep high conflict topics, the downside is important issues never get addressed, which leads to greater conflict and uncertainty. This style is best in the short term, to give you time to cool down or prepare for negotiation, but in the long term, it does not yield results. The outcome is usually lose-lose. Accommodating. This is the least self-focused style and is often associated with giving in. Someone who's accommodating might be submissive on the issues or just disinterested. They can be seen as allowing the other party to push them around. On some issues, it might not be worth the fight, and accommodating the other may help diffuse the tension. But accommodating on all issues will lead to your opinions and priorities not being heard or met. The outcome is usually lose for you and win for the other party. Compromising. This style is in the middle with medium levels of assertiveness and cooperativeness. Usually, both parties give up something they want in order to get something else they want. This is done by meeting in the middle at the point equally between each person's position. If 2 people want a pie, you'd split it in half, each person getting 1 half. Neither got what they wanted, the whole pie, but they each got something. Compromising involves both people settling for something less than they want. The outcomes can be seen as fair, though not entirely satisfying. Collaborating. This style is focused on satisfying both sides and creating the best outcome for both. It is often thought as expanding the pie by thinking outside the box and finding innovative solutions. This style can take more time and energy, but allows you to be more creative. Collaborating focuses on understanding the issues and interests of both parties. The outcome is usually win-win.